Hello everybody, welcome to the first Porsche Supercup race of the season. As you can see, we're here at Brands Hatch, and sorry for the place of the video, of course, on my personal channel. It should be on TFRL, but we shall hopefully get that on at the end of the race. Just for people watching, I'm going to put the link to the stream on Twitter and in the group chat so that other people can have a look at the stream as well. As we first see small guy out on track, let's have a look what he can do at the Brands Hatch Indy circuit. So we're going to have a qualifying session first for the first race, and then of course we'll have reverse grid for the second. The small guy just starts his lap now, so let's see what he can do going down into turn one now. Quite a hard first corner to get right, but let's see if he can get it right for himself. Sorry about the lengthy pause, just getting all the streams linked into the chats. So let's have a look, shall we, at small guy's lap. It is quite rough at the edge of the last sector. He's going through the final corner now though. We can already see a beautiful Red Bull livery on the Porsche, I must say. One of my favourites that I've seen on the Porsche so far. As he goes across the line, it sets a 46.6 straight away. Already better than I can achieve. So we can't argue with that one, can we? We see X3, he's going to start his lap as well, one of the favourites, arguably. As we have a yellow flag, let's see where the yellow flag is for. Do we find anybody off the track? No, not so far, so it looks like it was just a quick yellow. And here we see X3 already 600ths up on small guy's time in the first sector. His Grand J10, that was what the yellow flag would have been for. He's off. As we can see, X3 going around the final sector now. He's now 900ths behind small guy's time. Excuse me, his own time, he was already first. A bit of twitchy on the exit though, with the rainbow style bonnet. As he goes across the line now, he's going to go halfway down the road to try and get less time as possible. He's still down in his own time. He goes down into turn one once again, as you can hear the wheel spin and the screeching of the wheels. Let's have a look at K&K as he comes round the final corner. What's he going to be able to do as he goes across the line now? He's getting a bit of a slipstream from Elliott in front of him. Let's see what time he can put in. It's still 200ths off his best time as we see Elliott now. Elliott also one of the favourites, but he's gone off into the gravel straight away, and he's not going to be doing anything well from that position as he gets back on the track, hopefully not in the way of anybody, and it doesn't seem to be like that at all. We see K&K dot as James goes into the pits. Surely no refueling, or is he going to refuel for a bit more? No, he's not, just change of tyres, so that's something just normal. Comes out of the pits now. As we see X3 once again going to the second corner. Sorry about that. Seems to have a problem with my microphone, it wasn't seemingly working. But welcome to everybody who's on the stream. We've got 3 people so far. Feel free to put your comments down if you want me to answer any questions or anything of the sort, as we still see X3, who is currently leading in the qualifying session with the 46.529 going through turn 1. Let's see what he can do now going through the Brands Hatch Indy circuit layout. Of course, this is the shortened version of the track. Formula 1 used to race here in the late 1970s, of course, on the longer version of the track. As we see X3 now going through the very fast left-hander, sometimes flat out if you get it absolutely perfect, but he's 700ths down on his time. Is he going to be able to do anything about that as he goes across the line? Is he going to try and get close to the side of the track, excuse me, just to get the best time? Yes, he is. As you can see, he stays close to the pit wall. Is he going to get anything good? No, he's still 400ths off his best time. As we see small guy now going around the final corner. Has he got anything he can do about the time? As he goes around, he's 1/10 down on X3, but is he going to be able to cross the line and do anything about it? Yes, he is. He goes 200s quicker, but he's still a tenth behind as he goes down into Paddock Hill Bend once again. Let's have a look at Grand J10. He's now in third place, 2 tenths behind. Oh, and he gets a big oversteer moment going down into turn 1, and that can ruin your lap. Hopefully for him, he hasn't done anything too bad. As you can see on the display at the bottom, his tyres are still slightly worn already. But let's see what he can do. He's already 6 tenths down, so it doesn't look like he's going to be improving on this lap. As we see, small guy, he's 2 tenths down as well, so it doesn't look like he's going to be doing anything to challenge at the front. Let's have a look at James Head. Has he got anything that he can do? He's on his personal best at the moment. As he goes across the line, what's it going to be? Oh, and it's pole position for the moment. It's a 46.4. Only 800ths ahead of X3, but it doesn't matter how small the gap is, as long as you get the place. So, with James heading first, let's see if anybody can do anything about it. Of course, James Head is one of the favourites for the race win here today with that beautiful Martini livery that he has on his Porsche there. One of my favourites, I think, if not my actual favourite livery on the track. Feel free to put your comments below what you think is the best livery. As we ride on board with X3 once again, it looks like he's going into the pits to get a fresh set of boots on. Looks like that, as you can see in the bottom left, his tyres are very worn at the moment. As James Head also comes into the pits. Let's have a look at small guy. Has he got anything in his tank as he goes across the line? Looks like it's not going to be that quick of a lap. No, it's not. It looks like it's going to start another lap now. He is, as he goes down into turn 1. Let's see what he can do on this lap, shall we? Let's ride on board, actually. See if we can take you through a lap as we go through into turn 2. He gets quite close to the apex of the corner and then runs it wide. Sometimes that can be good, sometimes it can be bad depending on the traction you get. And he uses all the track on the outside. That can unsettle the car as it slightly did then. But as you can see, he's still got quite a bit of pace in this car. I think it said he was 3 tenths down in his best though, as we have a yellow flag, and it looks there like Elliott has gone off the track, and it looks like he's going to try and get a really good exit off of the corner, which shouldn't really be allowed. Whether the stewards have anything to say about that is another question. I did hear that this could possibly be of a problem for the drivers who do this. They could possibly get a penalty, but nevertheless, Elliott going down into turn 1. Bit squirmy on the entry there, but it looks like he's still trying to push on this lap. Of course, he's in 7th place at the moment. Let's see what he can do as he goes around the second corner. One of the hardest corners on the track to get maximum traction out of it. He's still a second down in this time. As you can see in the bottom left, his left-hand side tyres especially are quite worn. But as we look at his livery, the red and the Great British flag on top, which I must say is a great touch from Elliott as he goes around the final corner. What's he going to be able to do now? Is he going to box or is he going to go for this lap? It looks like he's going to go for this lap, although it doesn't look like it's going to be challenging anything at the moment. So let's see on the next lap. He's 9 tenths down, so this looks like this could be a lap from Elliott. See what he can do. Going down now into turn 1. It looks like he's got quite a bit of grip in the car, but currently he's not challenging at the top, so let's see if he's just holding a bit back as he goes around turn 2. He runs it quite wide there. That possibly could have lost him a bit of time. He's 3 tenths down on his personal best already, and that's not something he wants to hear. Oh, and he's got a slowdown penalty as well for running wide. I can't say I agree with that, because I think he lost time anyway, but unfortunately the game says you have to have a slowdown penalty. So let's see. He lets James Head through. Is James Head on another lap? It looks like he is. Let's go on board with him, shall we? Let's see if he's got any more pace inside that Porsche with the beautiful Martini livery as he goes across the line. Is he going to get anywhere near his time? It looks like he's got a bit of a slower lap. Yes, he is, but let's see if he gets another one from pushing now. Going down in to Paddock Hill Bend. He throws it through. Of course, he just put the new tyres on. As I'm sure you remember, he went into the pits, but he's let Elliott through. It looks like... Oh, and Doug spun. What's happened here then? James has just stopped on track. He doesn't seem to be wanting any of this, and Grand J10 as well. Oh well, this is all going fantastically well for them, isn't it? As we see, X3 also stopping. Well, this is just brilliant. Look at them all. They're all just sitting there. Of course, that would signal to me that qualifying is over. It looks like James Head will be starting from pole position. There's a great lap as we see Dirt Dude in the background in P10 currently just throwing it straight into the gravel. And let's have a look the comments. Why not? Ballboy saying good evening. Thank you for watching. How long is the race? Well, I believe we have 2 races tonight. The first one will be settled, the grid positions anyway will be settled by this qualifying session. And then, of course, the second one will be a reverse grid as far as I'm aware. So let's have a look at more of the comments. Another one from Ballboy saying pole, of course, yes. James Head looks to be on pole position. And Master Swift, synchronised spinning, of course it was. Let's have a look. Everyone seems to be waiting at turn 1. And there we go. The final will be started. So it will be James Head on pole with that great lap of a 46.4 with Esprit, Small Guy, Grand J10, K&K Dot, Elliot, Doug, and of course Hair Razor after that. So let's have a look then. Who's going to get the best start here in the inaugural race of the Porsche Supercup in the TFRL season? See there, James Head on pole with X3, Small Guy, Grand J10, K&K Dot, Elliot, Doug, Hair Razor, 7-7, and Dude rounding out the top 10 with Alakazam there. So let's have a look then. Who's going to get the best start in this 20-minute endurance race? Here we go then. We can hear the revs going up. Who's going to get the best start? It's lights out, and it looks like it's a good start from the front row. James Head with an absolutely fantastic start from the first row. Going down into turn 2, it looks like, turn 1, there's quite a few cars side by side as we go through. Small Guy looks to go through, and there's a bit of contact, and Grand J10 seems to have spun, and it looks like he's in the gravel already, but James Head with a great start already. X3 trying to cover off from Small Guy on the inside going into turn 2, and then we see Elliot and Doug, who've both got great starts going up in the places as Grand J10 of course went off earlier on. There was a bit of contact between him and Esprit. If that was a problem for the race stewards to decide, we do not know. But as we look now, we see Small Guy trying to get on the back of Esprit, but it's James Head who's got the great start at first as we see him there in his Martini Porsche, and it's a good start from him. He's going to try and pull away now from the rest of the pack. 19 minutes of racing, and he does not want to get caught up in any scraps if he can do his own race. So as we can see going down the field is Esprit, then Small Guy, followed by Doug and Elliot, and then of course Hair Razor and 7-7, and it looks like Elliot is the closest of anybody at the moment to a car ahead. Let's see if he's going to make a move on Doug going into turn 2. It looks like he's going to have a bit of a look, but he doesn't actually make the move. He's just trying to eye up Doug as much as he can, and we see Doug now getting the traction on the exit. Great camera angles here to see the liveries that we have today. So it looks like James Head still pulling away from the front, and then it's 6/10 from Esprit to Small Guy. Small Guy's going to be trying to push, and he goes just over the curb there, and that's not going to do him very much good. But as we can see, and look at that, Doug and Elliot are now catching Small Guy at a rate of knots. So it's been a great start from James Head as we see Esprit now and Small Guy. Esprit getting a bit further away from Small Guy now, and it looks like the main battle here is Small Guy, Doug and Elliot, of course, who is one of the great racers here. Oh, and Jaden spun! He spun from the lead. I said he did not want to do that, and he has done just that. I'm not sure if there's any contact. He surely was too far away to get any contact, but just like that, his race has been thrown up in the air. Unbelievable. He's just lost it, and now he's down in 8th place, and he's going to have to do so much work to get back up. But of course, James is one of the fastest, so this should mean an absolutely fabulous race to watch from us, the spectators, of course, who just want to have an amazing race. Let's have a look at James then. He's right in the back of K&K already. He does not want to be making another mistake again. But as we see, James Head, one of the fastest drivers here with one of the most beautiful cars, has made a mistake on lap 2 of this 20-minute endurance race. Still 17 minutes of racing to go. And look at that, going down into turn 1, he's still not able to get on K&K Dot. Will he try and make a bit of a move, a bit of a dive bomb into the turn 2 hairpin? No, he does not. He doesn't look like it. But as you can see, K&K Dot is right on the back of 7-7, and that's going to mean that James is going to gain a lot of positions if they start to squabble. As we see James once again trying to just get on the back of him, and look at that, he's going to skate into the slipstream of 7-7, and look at the round the outside. It's a great move down the inside of the fast left-hander from James. That's one place that he's got now over 7-7, and now he's going to try and get right on the back of K&K Dot. Let's have a look at the leaders, shall we? It looks like it's Esprit and Small Guy still pulling away. Esprit is going to try and pull away as we see Elliot and Hair Razor, and then finally K&K Dot and James Head as we go down into the first corner of Paddock Hill. And look at that, James Head looks to be close enough now. Is he going to be able to make a move down into the second corner? Oh, he tries it. He's quite close to contact, but he keeps it nice and steady going off of the corner now. He's going to try and make a move down to the left-hander. It's quite a hard overtaking spot, so he looks like he's just going to hold it back as he does. But as you can see, he runs a bit wide. Is he going to be able now to get into the slipstream and pull off another brilliant move into this left-hander as he did the lap before? No, he's not. But look at that, Elliott, and look at that, Elliott, and oh, this contact, and it looks like Elliott has made a mistake, as has Hair Raiser, and look at that, the top three, all the way down to about 9th, and nowhere away from each other. We're so close now, and James is going to be loving this, because right away he's been brought right back into this fight. X3 and Small Guy now pulling away. But because of the mistake from Elliott, it's just brought everybody close together. Look at that, everybody side by side going into turn 2. Elliott still holds the position. James around the outside of Hair Raiser. He's going to be able to make that stick going down into turn 3. It looks like he has great move around the outside. The move of the race so far, from my opinion, as we're now going down into the final sector of this track. And we can't stop looking. We've only had 5 minutes of racing, and it's just gone so quick. As we go down into the final corner now with James Head, and it looks like he's going to get a good exit going out of this corner now. But look at Elliott. Let's see if he's going to defend from the inside of K&K Dot, or is he just going to try and keep it nice and smooth going down into turn 1 in Paddock Hill. And this has been an absolutely fabulous race so far. Of course, James Head with that early spin has given us something amazing to watch. But as we can see now, going down into turn 2, it's Elliott still in P3. The top 2 are not being challenged at the moment, as we can see now, going down into the hairpin. And look at that, P3 to P8, all in one screen. Elliott making his personal best first sector of the race so far. He's going to try and pull away from K&K Dot as we're on lap 7, about to start lap 8. And going down now into the fast left-hander, which is almost flattening these Porsche Supercup cars, as we're going down now into the final right-hander. And let's see what Elliott can do. Can he pull away as we see James Head and K&K Dot trying to get on his tail and overtake. It's been a great race so far. K&K Dot, it looked like he's going to give it a go. Going down into Paddock Hill. Is he close enough? No, he's not. He just pulls out, but Elliott has to go defensive, and K&K Dot, oh, that was so close to losing it. But because of that, Elliott's got a bit more breathing space. Is he going to make a move into the hairpin? No, he's not. And K&K Dot is really hustling Elliott now. Both in the Porsches, of course, and look at that, he's 3 times off his best, so that suggests that Elliott is maybe holding him up in terms of what his best pace is. But Elliott just getting that little bit better acceleration out of the corner, and that means that K&K Dot is not able. Oh, and he's gone! K&K Dot, almost like a commentator's curse, he has gone off the track. And that's something he wants to do in qualifying, surely, if he wants to get a best lap, but he's lost it down in P8. And that means that, of course, James Head has gained another spot back up into P4, and Elliott's pressure has been released, pretty much all of it, as it goes down now into turn 1. As you can see, there's a bit of a gap now between him and James in P4, and Hair Raiser just in behind now. And it looks, look at that, it's Hair Raiser and Doug, the battle I really want to be looking for at the moment, because they're the 2 cars that are closest on track. As we go down now into the 3rd corner, the left-hander, one of the hardest corners on the track in my opinion. Oh, and Doug was really wide, but luckily for him he did not lose it on the grass. That would have been terrible if he did. And James Head, he's starting to push again. As you can see, his tyres are starting to get a little bit worn here as we go down now into the final corner. And Elliott is trying to pull away now from James, but James is going to constantly go. Oh, and there's yellow flags. Who's yellow flags for? Small Guy and X3. Oh, and X3, as I say that, has gone into the gravel. He's going to lose a lot of time. Is Small Guy going to be able to get moved on into turn 2? He is not at the moment, but he has lost a lot of time. That was not what the initial yellow flag was for, or at least I don't believe it was. But as I cut onto X3, he's lost at least 3 seconds in that sector, as you can see there from the sector split. And that means that Small Guy is right on his tail. Is X3 going to be able to keep him ahead as we go into the final few corners of the lap? Still got 12 minutes of racing, still a lot of racing to go, and Small Guy has lost it! I saw him get on the white line and on the grass, and that has lost him so much time and positions. And just like that, the top 3 have all made mistakes. James Head, X3 and Small Guy's made a mistake. Oh, and look at that, there's contact. And how did he keep it in a straight line? He still lost positions, but Hair Raiser was able to keep it on the track. So good from him, but he lost positions there. Not entirely sure who was at fault for that, but the back mark is getting in the way now of Grand J10. Hopefully he will get out of the way and not cause too many problems for everybody. But just like that, X3, oh, and Elliott must have made a mistake. Apologies for not seeing that, but Elliott must have made a mistake because Doug has made it through, and Small Guy must have made another mistake. Oh no, he actually might have been back in front, apologies. because James Head is now up into P2. So just like that, James Head is challenging for the victory once again. He has 11 minutes to get past X-Spree. Is he going to be able to do it? He has a penalty to get rid of. He has just got rid of it now, so he will not have to deal with that problem later on in the race. But just like that, the race has turned on its head yet again. X-Spree, as we see Hair Raiser in the pits. Let's see what he does. Is he going to... Oh, well, that's a random angle to do a pit stop at, but there you go, that's what the team wants. And is he going to put any fuel in? No, he is not, just tyres, and that is absolutely fine. As he goes back out on track in P9, we see now Elliott in P5, Doug in P4, and Small Guy in P3. These are the closest cars on track. Let's have a look at the front two. It's now 6 seconds to X-Spree. Oh, and James almost loses it. Is he going to go wide? No, he catches it just. We seem to be catching all of this as it's just about to happen. As James dives into the pit lane now, he's going to be the first one of the top two to get into the pit lane, and hopefully for him, he wants to get an undercut. We see the fuel man ready. Is he going to get any fuel into the car? It doesn't look like it. He's just going to get tyres at the moment. So what time is the pit stop going to be? It looks a pretty good pit stop as he gets back out on track. He wants to gain clean air for his sake so he can push, and it looks like he has done, as we see Small Guy's also gone into the pits. Is he going to get out ahead of Dude? He does indeed, just about. Of course, these tyres are going to be cold, as Small Guy's just found out. He's gone into the gravel, and he does not want to get in the way of Dude, or that could be a massive crash. And that first corner has been the enemy of so many drivers today, most notably James, who of course was leading at the time. As we see X-Spree, he's still out on track, as Doug is in P2, followed by Elliott in P3, and K&K Dot in P5 with 7-7. James Head, of course, who has made his pit stop, is in P6. Maybe he couldn't have thought he'd even get that high after the spin that he had a couple of laps ago, but you'd be surprised how much can change in that short amount of time. Dude is followed once again by Small Guy, who of course made the mistake, but Dude is in the pits. Hair Raiser, he is also pitted, so he's going to try and make a move on Small Guy going into turn 1. It doesn't look like he's going to be close enough at the moment. No, he isn't, but if he gets a good exit from out of here, he's going to be able to do it into the hairpin. But it looks like Small Guy might just be far enough ahead to make sure he does not put a bit of a rash move in, let's say. As we go down now into turn 3, and it's looking all good so far for him. As we go down now, and look at this, James Head is right on the back of 7-7. Oh, and he gets a bit squirmy there, but he's still holding it together. He gets a bit of a wide line there going into the final corner to try and get the best exit possible. And 7-7, a lot of wheel spin as he goes across the line, and surely that's going to give James Head the run that he needs. Oh, and he's found the gap on the inside, and surely that's going to be an easy move. He keeps it on the brakes. Going down into turn 1, 7-7 and James Head side by side, but James Head makes the move. Going down into turn 1, and 7-7 has gone off because of that. And James just gets in the gravel, but it looked fair to me. It did not look like there was any foul play there at all. It just looked like 7-7 outbraked himself on the outside. Didn't expect to have not as much space as he would have on the other laps. But as we see, Small Guy is now right on the back of him because of this. And look at that, 7-7 is struggling ever so slightly. Look at those tyres that already worn so much. As we go down now, oh, and already Small Guy gets through. Maybe a slight bit of contact there, as we see Hair Raiser flashing his lights, saying, get out of my way please, I need to try and fight Small Guy. But as we can see going into the final corner, 7-7 is not doing anything like that. He's getting so close to almost pushing him, as he just wants to get past. It looks like 7-7 might be going into the pit lane. Yes, he is. And X-Spree still leading at the front of the grid. It does not look like he's pitted yet at all. As we go down now into the final sector of the lap, when will he pit? That is the question. As we see, Doug is in second as well, and Elliott only 1 second behind, as he catches a bit of a slide there, runs a bit wide. K&K Dot, of course, in 4th. And there we see X-Spree. He's now in the pit lane. Where's he going to come out? Is James going to have made any result on that pit stop? Of course, he was about 5 seconds behind before that, but will he have got a bit of a jump with that undercut, of course, on the fresh tyres? It's all about to find out. As we see X-Spree coming out of the pits now. Where's James? It does not look like he's going to do anything about it, as X-Spree goes right out into turn 1, and James Head has not been able to capitalise with that earlier pit stop. And K&K Dot, oh, look at that, Elliott, I don't know if he caught it, or it was just maybe a slight bit of lag, but it looks like he had a bit of an oversteering moment, let's say, going into turn 1. And because of that, K&K Dot is right on the back of him. So let's have a look. Is he going to be doing any defending going into the final sector? And it looks like he will, because K&K Dot is down the inside. Is he going to make the move going through the fast left-hander? Oh, and Elliott's off the track. Oh, and it's going to be quite hard for him to stay ahead now, but he somehow does over the grass. it would be said, in my opinion, that K&K made an absolutely fair move there, and Elliott arguably should give the spot back, but instead of that, he's gone right into the pit lane, and that has just stopped the problem altogether. So the wise decision there from Elliott as he goes into the pit lane now, and because of that, James is right on the back of K&K, who of course is also not pitted yet. But James Head is right on the back of him. Is he going to make the move down into turn 2? It looks like he's going to be close enough. No, he's not. K&K runs ever so slightly wide, but James Head is still on the back of him, and 7-7 has left the race, unfortunately. Not entirely sure why. Oh, and look at that, Grand J10. Once again, he's been at the back this entire race, and he has lost it into the barriers. And we can see Aslan he's running his own race, but he's still running, which is good to see. It's good to see. You don't want people to just crash out or leave. You want them to stay in the lobby, which he is doing. So Aslan doing the right thing in staying in the lobby. Here we see Hair Razor and of course Elliott, the small guy. And there's a yellow flag in Sector 1. What is that for? I'm not entirely sure, but look at this. K&K still ahead of James Head. Is he going to try and go around the outside? Breaking down into turn 2. It'll be an amazing move if he does it, and it looks like he will do it. What a move by James Head, going round the outside of the hairpin, and that is an absolutely fantastic move, and he's back ahead into P2. Esprit, though, with 5 minutes remaining, still looks to be in control of this race. He just needs to keep it together, and he will get the inaugural victory here in the TFRL Porsche Supercup. So let's have a look. Will K&K gets a big amount of oversteer. Will he be able to come back at him? It does not look like it at all. As we see, look at this, the fight for 4th, 5th and 6th between Doug, Small Guy and Elliott as we go across the start-finish straight. As I said before, some amazing liveries in this lobby, and we've got 3 of them right here. The yellow Porsche in the front, or sunset orange you might say, Porsche of Doug as he goes slightly wide, as does Small Guy and Elliott. But feel free to comment what you think is the best livery in the description, in the comment section. And in a sec I will have a look at the comments. Don't worry, I do see people are commenting. It's just there's so much to look at in the race. But don't worry, I will look at the comments and I will see what people want to see. So as we go through the final section of the track now, it looks like Doug is going to pull away ever so slightly from Small Guy, who is defending heavily from Elliott. Going down the main straight is more of a curve than a straight, but it's still full throttle easily. As we go down now towards turn 1, Elliott isn't close enough to make a move, surely not into turn 1, and it doesn't look that way, he is not. But let's see. As we go down now into the second corner, into the hairpin, is he going to be able to make the move into it? It does not look like he is, but Small Guy does run ever so slightly wide. It looks like he's going for more of a V kind of looking thing. As we go down now into the third corner, it looks like Elliott is right on the back of Doug and Small Guy now. Doug looks like he's losing his tyre grip, and this could be a change of position in a few seconds as Elliott, Small Guy and Doug start to lose their tyre wear. But as we go around the final corner, Doug gets a good exit. Small Guy, though, looks to have gone amazing exit as he goes around the final corner. He's in the slipstream now. All 3 of them seem to be equally distanced from each other as we see Elliott flashing at Small Guy, trying to get him to move out of the way. He thinks he's got the pace to do even better, or maybe he's just psyched him out. As we go down towards turn 2, and Small Guy is quite close now. Is he going to try and make a move? No, he isn't. Doug does have to cover the inside line, though, because if he didn't, that would have been a problem. K&K still in P3, doing an absolutely fantastic job, keeping 5.6 seconds ahead of Doug and Small Guy. Elliott seems to have dropped off the back of this ever so slightly. And we see, of course, Hair Razor in 7th as well. But let's not forget our race leader, Esprit, who is still pulling out the gap to James Head of 7 seconds. But James running a bit of a lonely race now in P2. But of course, let's keep on the back of Doug, Small Guy and Elliott, who seems to have lost quite a bit of time, possibly made a bit of a mistake. And it looks that way because Hair Razor's right on the back of him now. And his Hair Razor is going to be able to make a move, as of sure Small Guy will be able to make on Doug. This looks like he's the closest he ever has been. Doug's going to have to cover the inside line. Surely as we go down into it, he does do that. Small Guy runs ever so slightly wide, but he's going to get a good exit now. And he does exactly that. Is he going to get the move done into the left-hander? Of course, it is one of the hardest moves to make. Oh, and it's so close to contact. But thankfully, no contact was made, and Small Guy's going to have to try and do it all over again. With 1 minute of racing left, Small Guy needs to get this move, and he needs to get it done now. As we go down then into the final corner, Small Guy seems to have lost quite a bit of time now, which he has done, as we can see. And as we've got a bit of breathing space at the moment in this race, let's see, have a look at the comments. So, Ball Boy, of course, who's been watching the stream intently, which is good to see. Thank you for joining us, Ball Boy. Has been putting a lot of things in, saying that Small Guy will be flipping many tables after that costly spin from second place. I have to agree. There's been a lot of costly spins in this race so far. Of course, one of them from no one other than James Head, who will be ruining what could have been a victory here in the first race of the season. But Spree, ever since that, even though he made his own mistake going into the gravel at turn 1, he is still pulling out the gap to James Head, of course, in P2 and K&K in P3. And look at that, there was somebody off in the background. Was that Grand J10 again? Oh, Aslan's off. Oh, that would be him. Aslan would have been off. And it looks like he might be going into the pits, is he? Yes, he is. Still running his own race. No, he's not into the pits, but like I said, it's still better to see him on the track than not doing. But on the track is something that Grand J10 has not been on a lot of today, as we can see him just getting out of the way now. Oh, and Small Guy, as he lost it going into that corner, that was so close. I don't know if Doug was maybe defending a bit aggressively there, but Small Guy into that was looking incredibly hard on the end of the race. And as we can see, X3 going over the line for what will be the final lap of this race. And of course, X3, after what James Head did, is dominating. He's slowing down. He wants to get the race now. Is he going to be able to do it? Yes, he is. Going over the line. Oh, and no! It's the final lap, and X3 has lost it! He has lost it. He did not realise it is one lap over that. K&K has finished. And look at that. James Head is going to win the race. After that mistake he made, K&K has made it ahead in P3 and Doug and Small Guy. But X3, what have you done? You have just thrown away the race. And that, as Ball Boy has put, is karma. And James Head is going to savour this victory in the opening round of the Porsche Supercup, going around the final corner now. He made a mistake, but my God, he's made up for it with an amazing race and lots of overtakes as he goes around the final corner onto the main straight here at Brands Hatch. And James Head is going to win the inaugural race. Or is he going to let X3 through? Is he going to let him through? He is! Oh, that's amazing sportsmanship. That is amazing sportsmanship. That's something that Lewis Hamilton did not show Valtteri Bottas today by letting him back through. But just like that, James Head lets X3 back through, which is something that I think deserves a round of applause. So it is X3 who wins the first race of the season here. And of course, it looks like James Head possibly wanted to have a race win, but maybe there was a bit of discussions going on, and maybe he just wanted to instantly do it. So save that replay. Just make sure for the next race. But it was a great race. What did you guys think? Let's have a look at the comment section now at the end of the first race. Sorry about not being able to look at the comments so much, but of course that was an amazing race. So let's have a look. Ball Boy, this could be James's first victory since FRL F1 Season 4's Spanish Grand Prix. Well, he did get that. He did look like he was going to get that win in the end, but he showed the sportsmanship and let X3 back through. And Ball Boy is not happy with that, saying boo. Let's have a look. Please tell me what you think your best liveries are. Master Swift saying X3's livery. It is a good livery. I do like the rainbow effects that he has on the bonnet and the roof of the car. But anybody else watching, feel free to say what you think about the race. But it was a good race. Of course, there was action around every single corner. And we do have a 10-minute break now from the race. So let's see what the second race holds in store. Of course, the next one is a sprint race. James Head just commented now, that was a glitch and a half. X3 won, just to clarify. Of course, James letting X3 through at the end. If that's just because X3 was a little cheeky in stopping on the line, seeing if he can time it perfectly. If I was X3, I'd have just gone the extra lap. Of course, he had the pace to stay ahead anyway. But James Head doing the right thing and letting him back through. So it is X3 who takes the victory in the first race of the season at Brands Hatch. Of course, there is another round coming, so please do stay and watch the rest of that. And it's going to be a good race, hopefully, as we have a look now at the rest of the grid. So let's spectate. We can see here Elliot waiting in the pit lane. Let's have a look at all the drivers now just waiting in the pit lane. Of course, it's going to be a bit of a break, so let's have a discussion about the drivers and what they have got so far. So, of course, Elliott possibly could have had a better race. There was a few mistakes he made, and of course, he wants to be winning. He does not want to be coming anywhere but first, as we all do, I'm sure. Small Guy also made a few mistakes, as did quite a lot of the leading runners, to be honest, as he goes out onto the track. And it is, here we go, look, we can see on the stream now that we will get reverse grid based on the results. And of course, that is something that we announced at the start of the stream. We will be getting the second race in a few short minutes. As we look, Small Guy is just out on track, just having a bit of a look around, so maybe he's just doing it for the spectators, so we actually have something to look at, which is something I can't argue. It's great to see. Just getting a bit of practice in. Of course, there was quite a few mistakes in that first race. James Head, Spree, Small Guy, Elliott, quite the top drivers, of course. Brands Hatch is a very hard track to get right, it must be said, especially that turn 1. As we say that, Hair Raiser is off at turn 1, whether that's just to get out of Small Guy's way, it looks like it might be. So let's maybe ride on a lap with Small Guy, and let's see what he can do. Going into turn 2, as he rides the curb on the inside, this gives you a great view for people who haven't seen the Brands Hatch circuit before, and maybe haven't been on GT Sport before, what it's like to drive one of these Porsche GT3 cars through the Brands Hatch track. Going down now into what would be a quite sharp left-hander just there, but of course this is the Indy circuit, not the F1 track, and he's going into second gear for the final corner, and it looks like he's going to get the first lap done as we go down now into the final section of the track. Of course, this lap time does not matter whatever he gets, because it will be done on the reverse grid of the last race, but it is a 46.7, which is quite a good pace. Going in once again to the second corner of the track, probably the best overtaking spot, in my opinion, of the track, turn 2. Using all the curb on the exit to make sure he gets the best run. Only 4 thousandths down in his time, uses the curb on the inside and runs it ever so slightly wide, but that is probably the best line he can do. We go now onto the bonnet cam just to give a bit more a driver eye view, almost, as he goes around the final corner. Of course there is cockpit cam, but we cannot use that unfortunately. As we see, going around the final few sections of the track, it looks like he's going to try and do better than his last lap, but it looked like he was slightly down, and he is still 2/10 down. Let's have a look at what everybody else is doing. 7.7 is Porsche, he is at 1.1 seconds down, and Hair Raiser about to come across the line as well. What's going to happen then? So let's see, going into turn 1, of course. We will be starting the next race in a few minutes, so do stick with us, and we will get the race underway. As we see 7.7 and Dad just finishing their laps. Hair Raiser once again. Grand J10. Grand J10 having a very bad race, it must be said, as DK and K-Dog going backwards on the grid, whether that's to practice to start, we do not know. Grand J10 though having a lot of problems in the first race, and he's had a lot of problems again now. This is not the type of driving we expect to see, whether he's just having an off day or he's not had a lot of practice. I do understand what it's like when you don't have practice, so we don't know yet. Small Guy going for a full drift, he somehow catches it, just about. Go around the final part of the track now with Doug, but he is actually going into the pits, maybe testing how quick he can go into the pits for. See now he's going to the pit lane just to have a bit of a top up on fuel and on tyres. Feel free to put in the comments any questions you have, and we'll see. Oh, as Grand J10 goes straight off the track, and that is not something you want to see. Nevertheless, we'll get this race going in but a moment. Let me just, as we're doing this actually, I'll just plug my controller in to get it a bit more charged because it's running low apparently, which is something we don't want when we're trying to look through the different cars. And as we can see, Elliott's still weighing in the pits. He does not really feel like he needs the practice. Let's have a look at James Head, who could have been the race winner of race 1, albeit for that spin earlier on, and of course letting X3 through right at the end of the race. as he goes down through the first part of the track. Let's have a ride on board with James, because of course he did get pole position, so this will be a great view for us the spectators to see what he did to get that pole position. As you can see, his 200s are up on small guy's time going through sector 1, so let's see what he can do through this left-hander. There's a bit of a lift, but he's got it through perfectly, and let's see when he brakes. As you can see, he gets half brakes there. He's not go full on the brakes, and he goes right wide at the exit here to try and maximise that traction as he can, and then he goes right tight to the inside, because of course that is the shortest route to the line. He doesn't seem to enjoy this lap too much, because he's going for the left-hand side of the track to try and get a good ride through the first corner as he goes ever so slightly wide, but keeps it just on track. As we go down now into turn 2. And let's have a look at the comment section by asking, is race 2 the same distance? And of course Keelan just replying yes, reverse grid from the race results. So let's have a look. Going through the left-hander, K&K and small guy may be getting in the way, but James Head thankfully has got through with no problems on that one. He is 2 tenths up on his time, but he did not go purple, so that might suggest that somebody else has gone purple in the middle sector over him. James possibly getting a bit of a slipstream from small guy, but this could get him first place. It does not though, he's actually 200 down on his personal best time. We see Grand J10 in the gravel once again. Oh, and James getting quite a bit of oversteer on the exit of turn 1, but let's give it a bit of a listen. Let's see what these beautiful Porsche cars sound like. So James with a purple first and second sector. Is he going to get over the line and take the fastest lap of this section? Just to remind everybody, this will not go towards grid position. If you are just joining us, this will be a reverse grid race from the first race where Xpree won from James Head in quite controversial circumstances, it must be said. We see James Head going down the inside of small guy and actually a bit of contact. I'm sure that wasn't on purpose at all from James or small guy to get in the way or to make the contact. Well, as I was saying, James Head could have won the first race, but he let Xpree through at the end because Xpree thought the race was over, although it was not at the time. So Xpree took the first winning honour in the Porsche Supercup TFRL season. But as I said, this is a reverse grid race, so these times will not take part in the grid order whatsoever. This is just a bit of practice for the drivers. As we see, the race is about to start in 10 seconds, so hopefully we will get the race underway and we'll get another great race, which it was before. So as we can see, the race is about to start again. So of course this is the reverse grid from before. So feel free to put in the comments right now who you think is going to win. Of course, we have the drivers from the back of the grid, 7-7, Grand J10, Dude, Hair Razor and Elliott, and so on and so forth, all the way back to James Head and Xpree, the 2 fastest drivers of the last race. So let's see who's going to win the sprint race here of the Porsche Supercup in the first round of TFRL. Oh, and it looks like a bit of a jump start possibly from the Elliott on the second row of the grid, but 7-7 seems to have got a decent start going down around the outside. It's Grand J10, he's going to be able to keep it around the outside going into turn 1. As we go see, look at that, it's 3 wide in the back and somebody's off already at the back. It's Hair Razor, but let's see who's going to get it down the inside. K&K Dot looks to have got around the inside, and around the outside goes Dude up into P3. Of course he was there at the start, but he's got ahead on Elliott. As we look at the back now, K&K Dot and Doug, who's got a real big tank slapper, and who's up in the back? It's small guy once again making another mistake, and that is a problem for him. But he has made another mistake and he's not going to be able to do anything well from that. We see Xpree and James Head at the back still battling it out with Doug and Elliott trying to get ahead of Dude. At the end of the first lap, it's still a 20-minute race for people not knowing. As we see now, Elliott with Grand J10 on the back of 7-7. Is he going to try and go down the inside now into turn 1? It doesn't look like it. No, he isn't. He's going to try and bide his time now. Going, as we see, Dude loses it, and he's going to go into the gravel, is he? Almost. He does, and he's lost all those positions now. And 7-7 still trying to come back from Grand J10, but Dude has lost it all the way in the back. And unfortunately, that has meant that he has lost these positions. But look at Doug now. He's trying to harry James Head, who of course has got ahead of him, but that is a problem for Dude at the back, who has lost P3. Could have been a great result for him. Elliott is now up into P2 though. 7-7 not got the pace unfortunately, and Grand J10 leads the race as we see. Oh, look at that, Doug's got a time penalty already. But as we go round and start the third lap of the race, it is Grand J10 who still leads with the fastest lap of the race, excuse me. As we go down now into turn 1, Elliott trying to get on the back of him though, as we see 7-7 still there in P3. Has there been a few mistakes possibly from K&K Dot, because he is now quite far back. As we see now, James Head, he must have made an error, because he's now behind X3 again, and Doug. So James Head must have made another error, going down now into the final part of the race. Small guy trying to come back at the guys. He is now put the fastest lap of the race in, which shows the pace he could have if he hadn't made that mistake. We see now X3 on the line with Doug. X3 going to try and come down the inside, but he has not made that yet. As he goes round the final part of the lap, K&K Dot makes a bit of a mistake going wide, but X3 is right in the slipstream of Doug as we go round the curve of the main straight and in to the fourth lap of the race. As we go down now into the first corner, is X3 going to be close enough to make a move? It does not look like it so far. Let's have a look up front. Elliott is getting closer. Oh, look at that! Doug's gone off! Doug's gone off into the gravel, and we know what that gravel's like. It completely sticks the car in, so he's going to lose so much time from that. And unfortunately for him, he has lost it yet again. But we can see, look at that, X3 going purple in the first sector. He has got the bit between his teeth right now. He wants to get this victory, as he did in the first race of the two races that we have had today. Elliott still on the back of Grand J10. Oh, well, look at that, Grand J10's made a mistake, and if he does not cover the inside line, I wouldn't be so surprised if we see Elliott coming down the inside now into turn 1. Is Grand J10 going to cover the inside line, or is Elliott going to stay on behind him? As we go down now, Elliott with the fastest lap of the race, followed by X3 and then James Head. Everybody setting fastest lap so far. Grand J10 runs ever so slightly wide. He's covering the inside now. Is Elliott going to try and make the move down into turn 2? No, he isn't. He's going to try and set it up though for the third corner. As we go down now into that corner, Elliott is right on the back of him. He's 3 tenths down. That just shows how much quicker he is than Grand J10. But Grand J10 still holding his own at this moment, as James Head on the back of X3. Doug, of course, made that error. But what's he going to be able to do about Grand J10? Elliott, as X3, as you can see in the background, trying to harry 4th place as well. But look at that! Grand J10 with an absolute tank slapper coming out the final corner, and that's let Elliott go through. But he's now right in the slipstream. Is he going to be able to make a move down into turn 1? He doesn't want to do anything brash and make a bit of a mistake. As we go down now into turn 1. Oh, and he is doing! Is he going to make the move stick? Is there going to be contact? There is a bit of contact. Grand J10 though holds it, and Elliott is still in the lead. And thankfully for everybody, nobody has made any contact and spun around whatsoever. But look at that, 1st to 6 all in one shot. Anybody could win this race. Who do you think is going to win this race? Please put it in the comments section. But look at this, Elliott in the lead now from Grand J10. As we look further back, 7-7 and K&K Dot with X3 side by side with him. Is he going to be able to go around the outside? Yes, he is. Great move from X3. And look at that, James Head down through K&K Dot as well, and 7-7's off. Everything's going on in this race at the moment. But James Head gets through a bit of bumping and barging, but I think that was absolutely fair. He left the gap, and a bit of bumping and barging, in my opinion, is absolutely fine. Going through now to start lap 7 of this 20-minute sprint race. Here we can see James Head in P4 now with X3 in P3, Grand J10 just up the road in P2, and Elliott in P1. As we go around the hairpin, Elliott trying to kind of get a bit of a gap going now to Grand J10. Of course, he knows he has that buffer of Grand J10 to the guys behind. But if the pace that they've been showing, as James gets quite a bit of oversteer on that curb there at the exit, but he holds it all together. If we see X3 and Grand J10 and Elliott holding this together, we might see James Head not being able to get anywhere near them. But we know the pace of James Head in this Porsche Supercup race. He's been absolutely phenomenal, of course, getting that pole position. And as we see now, K Dot is actually quite close to him as well. But as we go down into turn 1, Esprit trying to close in on Grand J10. Going down now into the right-handed hairpin. And James Head's actually gotten good defensive on K Dot. James Head is not really enjoying this at the moment. Maybe he's just not enjoying the fact that he's going to have to conserve his tyres. But K Dot, unless he's on an absolute push right now, is closing in on James Head as he goes slightly wide. But look at this, Esprit, Grand J10, the closest battle on track, 2/10 between them going into the final sector. A bit of a squirmy moment there for Esprit. He's going to try and go down the inside. It's Grand J10, makes a bit of an error once again, and that's the same thing that happened to him with Elliott, and Esprit has got through, and look at that, James Head is off! James Head is off! I did not catch if there was contact there or if he made a mistake, but just at the end, James Head went into the gravel, and surely that's going to cost him the chance, unless anybody makes a mistake out front, of winning this race. And as we see, going down into turn number 2, you can see Esprit still keeping that gap from Grand J10. And now Elliott, is he going to push and get this gap, or is Esprit going to be able to get that gap down and make a move for the victory here in the Porsche Super Cup sprint race? So let's have a look. Anybody commenting anything else? Not at the moment. If you want to comment a question or anything like that, of course, feel free to do so. I will answer as many questions as I can. As the race dies down, of course, we don't want to miss any of the action, as we are about to start lap 10 of this Grand Prix with Elliott leading the race, and it is an absolutely amazing race so far. Of course, this isn't a Grand Prix, I don't know why I said that. This is Porsche Super Cup, which I have to say is a lot more exciting than a Formula 1 Grand Prix, so you should tune in to this every Sunday for the TFRL Porsche Super Cup races. Grand J10 and K Dot getting quite close on the track as well. Grand J10 does not seem to have the pace, but he's doing a lot better than he is on the first race. But as I say that, he's gone off, and surely he's going to lose the place now. But no, he gets it on track, and K Dot's going to be right on his tail, going down now into turn number 6, I believe it is. As he goes round the final corner, Grand J10 once again with that absolutely squirmy rear end, and that's what's lost him the positions first, and it looks like he's going to lose another position because of it. He gives him a bit of space, but K Dot looks to be going down the inside, and looks surely, if he gets the braking point absolutely right, to be able to take this position off Grand J10. Down into turn 1, it looks that way. Grand J10 though hits the curb, and that's going to cost him a little bit. Thankful of him though, he keeps it on track. Esprit though, he is catching Elliott for the lead. Let's have a look at Elliott now. Is he going to try and get that gap up as much as he can, or is he trying to conserve the tyres? As we can see, the tyre wear is very, very similar on most of these cars. We've looked on the bottom left hand side of the screen. If you are watching on the stream, you will see the tyre wear apart from Grand J10. Look at that, that's how much he's been trying to stay ahead but losing the rear end. And look at his left rear tyre, and this is not helping at all, drifting around the final corner. Look at this, Esprit catching Elliott. I believe it was over 2 seconds the last lap, but it is now 1.7 seconds. This will be the battle for the lead. Hopefully none of them make a mistake, and we do get an amazing battle here. With 11 minutes of racing left, still anything could happen in this race. And we see James Head in the pits. I wonder what happened there. As he goes into the pit lane, he's getting a fresh set of tyres on, and we can see now. Oh, and look at that, Esprit running ever so slightly wide. But look at that, 1.3 seconds. Elliott does not seem to have the pace here to keep up with the pace of Esprit. But we don't know. Elliott might be trying to conserve tyres here. It is very possible, very possible. As he goes around the final corner, onto the pit curve here at Brands Hatch, of course, personally one of my favourite tracks. And here we see Elliott still losing time to Esprit, but he's 1.2 ahead. As you see Grand J10 into the pits, those tyres were not holding out whatsoever. And we see now Grand J10, where's he going to come out? Is he going to come out ahead of James Head? Let's just have a look at Elliott and Esprit, who are absolutely side by side almost going into turn 2. James Head, is he going to get ahead of Grand J10? He does indeed. And that means now that we've got to turn our attention to Elliott and Esprit for the lead of this race. Esprit using a lot more curb there in the final sector. Maybe that's to get out the dirty hair. But of course, the dirty air is not as big a problem here as it is in things such as Formula 1. Elliott closing the inside line. He does not want to let Esprit get through into turn 1. But surely he's not going to be able to make a move anyway. So surely going down into turn 2, he's going to get that slipstream up the hill, and maybe as Elliott gets a bit of a slide, and look at that, Esprit's now right on him, and Elliott is going to have to close the gap on the inside, as he does do, but will he get a better exit, or will X3? We do not know at the moment, but look at that. Elliott is right there and getting challenged by X3, and this is the race we want at the front. No mistakes, just pure battling here in the Porsche Supercup race. As we see now, going through the final sector of the race, final corner, Elliott getting a bit of a tank slapper on the rear, but nothing too problematic. As we go down now, and we're going to see, is X3 going to be able to make that move going into turn 1? We see now, going through, is it possible? No, it isn't at the moment, but surely he's going to be able to make the move into turn 2. Is Elliott going to cross the line? He does indeed. Is there going to be a gap down the inside? No, there isn't. X3 trying to go around the outside, but you cannot get around the outside of Elliott there, surely not. As we go through now, in to the third corner. I know they'll be racing everywhere else on this track, but this is the most important battle, and of course it is for the lead of the race. As we see Elliott still trying to stay ahead of X3, well, this is going to be quite a hard thing to do with the pace that X3 is showing here in this second race of the Porsche Supercup. Oh, look at that! X3 almost losing it. I don't know if you saw it on the stream there. If you didn't, please rewind it. But that was incredible, and he's lost a bit of time because of that. But X3 with an absolute tank slapper coming out of the final corner, and that is something he did not want to see. As we go down now into turn 2, as we see Elliott once again trying to just cut off that line to X3. He does not want X3 to be able to do anything. Going down now into turn 3, through the corner now. Elliott doesn't want to give him any quarter at all. As we say this, K&K Dot is just running his own race in P3, doing a good job so far. James head up into P4 after making that pit stop. Of course, small guy, I'm not sure if he made a mistake, because it looks like he's behind James head once again, so he must have made another mistake. Oh, unfortunately he made it at the first lap, of course, so possibly that would be why he is behind him yet again. But as we see, Elliott still trying to defend from X3, going into turn 1, into Paddock Hill Bend, one of the most famous corners on the track, one of the hardest corners, if not the hardest on the track, even on the Indy circuit. As we go down now into the second corner, X3 almost looked like he was going to give it a go then, but he does not want to be doing that without knowing that he's going to absolutely pull it off with 100% accuracy, or it would have been contact. So look at that, 3/10 the gap now. Is he going to be able to make a move into turn 1? It's a very hard corner to make a move into, but if he gets a good exit from the final corner, it is something that he could definitely do. 6 minutes of racing, look at that! Elliott, and there's contact, because Elliott had to slow down massively to not lose the car, and because of that, he's going to be almost side by side with him going into turn 1, but no, because of that little hit, Elliott gets a much better exit, of course, because X3 had to come off the throttle. But going into turn 1, like I said before, a bit of bumping and bashing is fair. We want to see that. We want to make sure that people race wheel to wheel. We don't want to ruin the race at all. Elliott, is he going to cover the gap to the inside? He doesn't. Bit of a move under the brakes there, but look at that. He's run ever so slightly wide. He's going to have the inside line, for the next corner, the left-hander. But this is going to give X3 so much confidence going through, knowing that he is quicker than Elliott. Elliott, once again, covering the inside line to this quick left-hander. It'll take a brave man to go down the inside there. But X3, he goes around the outside there. He doesn't do it this time though. As we go into the final corner, Elliott won't want to be making that mistake again. As you see, 7-7 getting lapped. Hopefully he will get out of the way. He does not want to be getting in the way of this battle for the lead of the race. As we go down now to the final bit of the track, and look at this, X3 putting pressure on around the outside. Elliott having to go so defensive, and he's going to do that, and look at that, they're so close together. Elliott has to cover the inside line surely, or there's going to be contact in turn 2. Look at that, that's quite a late move, so I wouldn't be at all surprised if X3 is a bit angry with that, but it is borderline fair, so I can see no problems from the stewards. But look at how close they're getting now. These two are just showing the rest of the field who is the best in this second race. Well, of course, X3 showing that he has the pace to win this race. 5 minutes left. Can Elliott hold on for this race victory here in the second race of the season? And Elliott across the line, look at the tyre wear, almost identical. It has to be said though, Elliott seems to have a bit more front left tyre, but that is about it. Apart from that, they seem to be quite identical. Going into turn 1 of Paddock Hill Bend once again. And Elliott still holding his nerve, still not letting him through. Is he going to cover the inside? Looks like he's about to. Oh, but look at that, he's going through. But once again, oh, and he's got the inside line. It looks like this could be going for Elliott. But once again, he's going to have the inside line for turn 3. Is he going to hold it? Yes, he is. but X3 is absolutely harrying him now. Is he going to get a better exit? He does indeed. The side by side. Oh, and there's a bit of contact onto the grass. Elliott needs to give him a bit more space. Going through the fast left-hander, and X3 once again can't get round the outside, but that is fantastic racing from the pair of them. A bit of bumping, a bit of badging. Could be argued that Elliott should have given him more space on the exit of turn 3, but look at that. X3 is going to go down the inside now. He's side by side with Elliott going round the curve of the pit curve as we go down now into turn 1, and Elliott still holding on to the inside. How is he doing this? How is he holding on? As we see, Grand J 10 of course was in the high of first and second before, but now he's down in 9th, and Elliott still holding on this position from X3. But as we say this, X3 still holding on to the back of Elliott's gearbox, and look at this, might be side by side once again going through the fast left-hander. Not quite as we go through the final sector of the track. Oh, look at that, X3 with a massive oversteer moment. Is he going to be able to hold it? He does just about. He uses the curb to his advantage, and he's going to try and get the best exit possible. But this has been an absolutely fantastic battle between first and second here in this race. And look at this as we go through. There's still not much else going on in this race. Of course, Dude and Hair Race are quite close, but apart from that, oh, and Elliott! He's almost lost it. It looks like he has. Is he going to get it back down the inside? No, he isn't. And he's lost it. He cracked under the pressure that X3 was constantly putting on him. And the race winner from the first race is back up into first from the last place on the grid. This will be an absolutely fantastic win if he can hold it. But now he's run wide. Is Elliott going to be able to make a bit of a counter-attack move here? Or is X3 going to be able to flex his muscles and show the pace that he had behind Elliott? As we see now going into the final corner of the track, X3 pushing. He's got a bit further away from Elliott than Elliott did from him. But after all that pressure from X3, it finally paid off. It has been an absolutely amazing race so far. As we've got 2.5 minutes left of racing, X3 going into turn 1, and Elliott once again losing that time. So it looks to be exactly as we thought. X3 had the better pace out of the two of them, and he is going to be able to get and push away now. So after an absolutely fantastic battle for at least 10 minutes straight, X3 has finally got past Elliott for anybody who has just joined the stream now. Going through then into the final section of the laps. You'll see final bit of X3's car, as we can see, is still got quite a bit of tyre wear. As you can see, the rear left has got quite a bit. Let's have a look at that of Elliott, who has seemingly got a bit more rear tyre wear, but he does not have as much front tyre wear. So let's see now. Oh, and Elliott, he's actually gone on the grass into the gravel, and that's not going to help him. Is he going to be able to get it stopped? No, he's not. He's in the wall. He's in the wall. Is he going to be able to get it out of the barriers in time, or is it going to be James Head who's now up into P3? Apologies for not seeing that. He's just got ahead of K&K Dot up into the podium positions, and now that has stopped Elliott from getting back on terms with X3 for sure. But is James Head in the final minute of this race going to be able to make a push on Elliott if Elliott makes another mistake? It'll be incredible if that happens, because of course we only have 1 minute left. But Elliott makes the mistake that costs him a victory chance here in the second race of the season. Of course, X3 did pass him, so it would have been a very, very weird thing if Elliott got back past for the victory. But with that being said, we have seen X3 make a mistake in the first race, but it just looks like Elliott's tyres have just completely gone. James Head oh, it looks like James might have made a mistake actually. He must have made a mistake because K&K Dot's back into the podium positions. So let's have a look at X3. 28 seconds left. Is he going to try and make the thing that he did the first lap, the first race, excuse me, and that is try and stop on the line? Surely he won't be able to do that this time because there's too much time left in the race. But as we go through K&K Dot, James Head and Small Guy, that's going to be a battle we need to look out for as we go through the final section of the race. X3, is he going to try and stop, or is he going to try and get another lap? He's going for the other lap. He doesn't want people to make the same mistake as he did. As we see Small Guy once again, and sure he's going to lose it, but no, he holds it. Great car control from him. On James Head, it is the final lap of the race though. Lap 25. As we go around, and Elliott has finished in second with K&K Dot third, and James Head and Small Guy will finish fourth and fifth. And X3 can enjoy this lap as Hair Razor goes through into P6. Doug will soon come through, as will Dude in 7th and 8th. But X3, he won the first race after weird circumstances, after making a few mistakes, but this race from the back position on the grid, he has been absolutely formidable from last to first. The last to first challenge is completed. It's 2 out of 2 and an amazing start to the season for Xpree X30 as he wins the second race and takes maximum points once again. And it is an absolutely fabulous 2 races from his point of view. Of course, he did not get pole position, but he still got the race victory. As we can see the classification here, and James Head did get the fastest lap of the race, I can confirm in the end. But it's 2 out of 2 for Xpree, 9 positions gained, an absolutely fantastic race from him. And that is 2 races out of 2, and that is something that he will be very happy with. And we'll just save the race replay, and that was an absolutely fantastic race. And well, let's just have a final look at the comments before we sign off from what has been an amazing couple of races. So as we can see in the comments, Ballboy once again, bit of a James fanboy. He is not happy that James lost 3rd place, but it has been a great race nevertheless. As we see, Small Guy saying oops, because he obviously knows he made quite a few errors. But with that being said, he is still got P4. So like I said, 2 amazing races. Feel free to put in the comment section if you enjoyed those races as well. Let's just see, possibly I can do about maybe seeing some of the drivers. Give me a moment. Okay, it doesn't seem to be able to get any drivers in, but nevertheless, it's been an absolutely fabulous few races. So, never mind with that one. But, like I said, a great race. If the first race didn't have the battle for the win that we were looking for, although it did have the battles outside of the first few places, the second race definitely had that with the battle with Elliott and of course our eventual winner Xpree. So thank you everybody for watching. Of course we weren't on the official TFRL YouTube channel this time. We of course will try to make sure that we get that the second time. But nevertheless, thank you everybody for watching, and we will see you in the next race here on Porsche on Sunday. But of course, if you want a bit more TFRL action in the meantime, we do have the A-League and B-League races from Bahrain on Friday and Saturday next week. So thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed the races, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you very much.